Alright, here we are. I decided I've been wanting to do this for a little bit, but I was just trying to decide when the best time would be for that, and the best time is now. So here we are in Valkyria Chronicles. If I could spell, I've tried to update. Sorry, I just remembered that I should probably update the stream, huh? So wait, there's a tag on this game for stealth. Excuse me. What do you mean? Did I actually hit it twice? Okay, there we go. Now that I keep hitting done expecting it to close, and it doesn't close. Anyways, here we are. Now I'm gonna be a little shit and just load my game save. And so, as you'll notice, the game is, the way it's set out, it was originally designed for the PlayStation 3, and so, like, the save menu, stuff like that, clearly are influenced by, that. They obviously didn't change anything. And the way this game's laid out is through this book design, and now if I wasn't playing just from the load state, most of these would be, like, I'm pretty sure they're, like, grayed out or whatever, and so you can't actually see, but we can because I don't want to have to restart everything. So here we go.
The year was 1935 EC. Two powers controlled the continent. In the east, the sun rose over the autocratic East European Imperial Alliance, otherwise known as the Empire. In the west, a network of loosely allied democracies formed the Atlantic Federation. Both powers depended on a precious mineral, ragnite, for their survival, and its growing scarcity led to the inevitable war. Hostilities began in the east when the Empire aggressively crossed their western border. The Atlantic Federation responded, and the Second European War was on. The Empire, with its vast military superiority, struck hard, gaining ground in early victories and putting the Federation on the defensive. Emboldened by their progress and momentum, the Empire set their sights beyond the borders of the Federation. In neighboring Gallia, a peaceful principality along the sea, they found their next victim. Gallia had long maintained its neutrality in the tensions between the two superpowers. But the rich stores of ragnite under the Gallian soil proved too tempting for the Empire. It amassed troops along the eastern border and invaded with all the force of an avalanche. March 1935. Outside the Gallian border town of Brule. Residents are leaving the town before the invasion, headed inland towards the capital.
I haven't been down this road in years. It really hasn't changed very much. Whoa. Already? Hey there, guys. You're beautiful. Starting early this year. You're heading upstream, huh? How's the water?
Freeze! Put your hands in the air. Slowly. Haven't seen you around before. What's your name?
My name's Welkin. And you are...
The one with the gun. We're with the Brultown Watch.
She makes a good point.
Alicia Melchior. So, I'm wondering what you've been writing in that little book you've got there. Imperial spies are in the area.
This book is nothing, really. I was just sketching the fish and, you know...
Yes. Oh, I know. And you know there's a war on, don't you? All right then, Mr. Artist. We'll talk about fish sketching down at the station. Take him away.
Thanks, fish.
So one of the things I do enjoy about this game is that it's got the pastel-y, I gotta get to that one, art style, like the watercolor art style. Makes it stand out visually.
Flowers, bugs, and fish. You're not bad with a pen, are you? I have to say, they're really very good.
Thank you. So you see, I really was just sketching.
Maybe. Or this could be some kind of secret code. And I intend to take my time finding out for sure.
Does she have time to be guarding?
Welks? Is that you?
Isara! Oh, your timing is perfect.
What have you gotten yourself into now, Welkin? Wait. Don't you live at the old General's house? That's right. I'm General Gunther's daughter, Isara. You do know everyone's supposed to evacuate, right? Yes, I'm aware of that. My brother's here to help me move to the capital, but that may be difficult. I mean, unless you're willing to let him go, that is.
I like how you could have just like welcomed Gunther and just advanced this conversation a lot earlier. But he opted just to choose
I
Welkin.
apologize, but I was just doing my job, you know. I saw
Idiot.
you with the notebook and thought you were a spy. Again, I'm really sorry about that.
Thanks. Don't worry about it. I can see how I might have looked a little suspicious.
Wilkes has a real passion for observing nature. That's why he's studying it at the university, right?
Guilty as charged. I get so into it sometimes I forget where I am or that somebody might be watching me.
Gunfire! Everyone keep your heads down!
Over there! Come on!
This game just begins with casual war crimes, like...
Welkin, you can handle a gun, right?
Yeah. I mean, I made it through training anyway.
Well, they're probably just a small scouting team. We should be able to take them out.
I'm with you.
Okay, here's the plan.
Alright, so yeah, so this game operates, you've got the book where it tells the story, and then you go into the actual game. Now, it's a third-person shooter with, like, commanding elements, like, it's easier, if you have never played it before, that's the simple way to describe it, you'll see here in just a second. So every combat will begin with a kind of basic operational plan, just telling you what to do, how to hit, like, what's going on, your objectives, any extra events on the map, like weather, or whether it's night, stuff like that. And victory conditions. Normally you'll have random objectives. Normally it is just mostly defeat all enemies, and then failure will have a turn limit, and then also certain people cannot die. Or in some cases cannot be incapacitated, stuff like that.
Let's get started. Just stay calm and get it done.
I mean, you don't even look like you're interested, like this combat's like nothing for you, just like casually just, they're shooting at us. Who cares?
I see 3 of them.
That's 3 too many. Stay sharp.
Alright, so we start here with the this first combat is going to have just scouts. Scouts are your basic riflemen, and they have the longest movement range out of every unit.
Ready to go.
So you notice this is kind of cheating, because Welkin is not in his base uniform. Also, we have the X-20, which is a highly upgraded gun that offers debuff abilities on people. So, a bit cheating. So during the movement phase, as you'll notice, enemies can, in fact, will fire on you if you get close enough to them. And there's a bit of a strat you can do here, which is like you can spam like the end move screen, and sometimes it will prevent enemies from firing. Not always, but.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
And every unit here has like potentials that give them upgrades. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can take out this guy. And so if you're close enough to an enemy where they're auto-firing inside of that range there,
Here we go.
they will fire back at you after you end your turn if they're still alive. Now in this case, none of the enemies have survived long enough to be able to fire back at us, but they can do that. And also if you're next to one of your squad mates, or several of your squad mates, I can't remember if this game operates like that, they will sometimes help you as long as you're within their auto-fire range.
Miss Melchiot, there's no other sign of the enemy.
Good. Now, go keep watch and stay alert.
Yes, ma'am. What should we do with the bodies, ma'am?
We'll bury them. So it's begun.
Hang them from the windmill. Leave them as an example. No. God.
I'll do it. Even going to war, I'll do it. What are those?
Seeds from the lion's paw. It blooms white, small, simple, and strong.
I want to be able to remember, once the war is over, that it wasn't all just people killing people. That even in war, there was also new life.
On the 15th day of the 3rd month of the year 1935, the Empire began its assault in earnest. A formal declaration of war was made upon Gallia. Though it was only a small front in a massive continental assault, what followed would prove that a tiny nation could best a military giant. These events would tell a story of tragedy hidden in the mists of time. A story of courage and of trust, of persecution and hate, and of love blooming even through the flames of war. What follows is a record of this conflict, and of those who fought, lived, and died.
here we are. This is when we get to have like some interesting combat, not just 3 guys in a field. But first, cutscenes.
Seeing that old mill spinning again really makes it feel like home sweet home.
I hear that. It really is one of the most beautiful things about this town. Well, citizens, our enemy can't be far behind. I thank you for your help. Goodbye.
They just had this casual conversation. And they just watched 3 people get gunned down outside of town by the enemy. Like, there's no urgency. Like, I'm sorry, but, why?
How's the packing coming along, Ys?
Almost done. I only need to take the everyday basics.
Well, the Empire's got to be close by. Let's hit the road by sundown.
Martha, look! Welks is here!
Oh, welcome back, Welkies.
You're still calling me that? Martha, I'm 22 years old. And more important, you shouldn't be running around. Aren't you due any day now?
A light jog won't hurt the little spud. I should know. I've already had 4 of them.
Hello there. Is
We were just in town.
Oh, hello, Alicia. What brings you here?
I just wanted to apologize. For before. Here. This is for you.
Really? These are for me?
I work at the bakery. Well, I did until the war started anyway. It's where I live, too. That's preserved bread, so it's pretty hard. Heat it up before you eat it, all right? I baked it myself, so the flavor's guaranteed. Best you ever had.
Thanks. Do you want to come in?
Arrested and shot at? You've had a busy day of it, haven't you, Welkies?
Why is this such a casual thing? I just still don't get it. Like so she arrested you, and then some dude started blasting. Like, you're like, oh, just another day at the office. What is wrong with you people?
And what a lovely lady you are for all that adventuring. Good job, Welkies.
Martha, that's not what you should be taking away from this conversation.
What? Wait, no, it's not like that. Alicia just saved my skin, that's all.
He's right, we just met. I'm not his girlfriend, just his hero.
Damn it, Alicia, no.
Although I'm really hoping to be his friend.
Oh, well, I'm sure you will. Be good to my Welkies,
Alicia,
won't you?
no. I mean, Martha, no. Stop it.
Okay, seriously, Martha, enough with the Welkies already.
That's a lovely portrait. Is that General Gunther?
Yep. It was taken before I was born. But that's Dad.
That's Dad? You're a lucky guy. And who's that with him, there? My father, Tamer. He was an engineer. The General's tank was his creation.
Wait a minute. But I thought the General was your dad.
My birth parents died when I was a baby. The General was kind enough to take me in as his own after that.
Yeah, we're not related by blood, but she's definitely my little sister.
Sorry, was that question too personal?
No, I don't mind at all. I was blessed with two wonderful fathers.
Sarah's such a good kid.
Yeah, I guess you were, huh? Oh, is that really the time? I've got to get going.
Oh, only now you have to get going. Man, that would be convenient if there was a war going on.
Why don't you see her off, Welks? I can take care of the rest of this on my own.
Alright, I will. I'll be right back.
See you later, Isara. Safe travels.
This is so casual for people who were just in a gunfight.
Wow, look at this. Bruhl's really becoming a ghost town.
They've been leaving for a while. Just about everyone is evacuated by now. You can't blame them. Tensions are rising with the Empire. We'll survive. The Town Watch will guard and protect the home front. Everyone will come back someday. They'll come back when it's safe again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Welkin, I'm curious. Are you gonna join the army like your father?
I don't think that's for me. What I'd really like to do is be a teacher.
Huh. A teacher?
Yeah.
So-
Animals and insects, flowers and plants.
Spoiler from Valkyria Chronicles 2.
My passion.
He's not a teacher there either.
Nature. You see, my dad, he protected this country as a general. But
You just find him vibing in a shop.
it's just that I want to give back in my own way. My own way. You know what I mean?
I think I do. You're sure about it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's deep in your own way. Ah! What was that?
That sound.
One thing that does kind of make me a bit angry is that they had to cut this cutscene in half. Mostly because it went from, like, in-engine to pre-rendered cutscene, but... More war crimes! I mean, if you're gonna set up who's the bad guy is, I guess just fully commit to it, but... Oh lord. Can't just walk into every town and just start blasting.
I don't believe it. The mill.
Miss Melchior, the Imperials are attacking. There's a squad of them in town right now.
No shit, Town's Watchman. Never could have guessed
Get
it.
all the Town Watch together, now! We've got to fend them off.
They must be at Mill Plaza. I'll help.
Thanks, Welkin. Now move out. Stay low.
Like the thanks. Alright, here, just the complete tone shift.
I'll explain the mission.
Like, I love the usage of the word deploy here because we're supposedly just walking through the town. Like, they were on the street, according to this map, to the right, and just went, we're gonna cut behind some houses. So yeah. So here's the other kind of common victory type is defeat a particular enemy. Now, what they brought up here
Okay, let's begin. It's up to us to defend Brooklyn.
is that in command mode, obviously, it will allow you to see the map. Like, as you notice here, obviously, like we could see before, our team and their team.
Our target is the Imperials in Mill Plaza. Focus on taking down their captain. Breaking the chain of command should at least buy some time for the townspeople to get away.
All right, I got it. Let's all be careful out there.
But, for example, it's based on your unit's line of sight. So, for example, there could be an enemy behind this house here that we can't see, and they won't show up until we've gone up and around to where we can see around there. And then they'll show up on the map, but before then, you can't. Now, you can also detect enemies sometimes by, like, just firing into the void or, like, lobbing grenades and stuff at random points on the map, particularly, like, grassy areas, that we'll get to later. And that will bring up a health bar, despite the fact you can, and obviously the guy will make grunting noises when he gets shot. But,
Here we go. Hostile sighted.
oh, I hit the wrong button. Alright. And yeah, if you're behind sandbags like this here, you do get defensive bonuses, as well as being harder to hit, which is really inconvenient. Like, for example, I shot him in the head, which instantly killed him. When you're behind sandbags, headshots don't instantly kill anymore. They act like a normal body shot. Yeah, I understand. And enemies do have to reload. Now, normally you wouldn't be doing that if you were doing the normal campaign, because, I just ate a lot of bullets there. But, since these are, like, level 20 units, I don't care. But, like I was saying, so you'll notice that the enemies do reload. Like, they'll fire their clip of... Normally, scouts have a, have, like, a 5-round clip.
Don't even think of dodging. Now!
I'll cover you, Alicia.
My wounds are healing.
And as you see, we are apparently carpet bombing all of our, potentials, which are, like, kind of like bonus abilities right now. And if I remember correctly, I think, you also get damage bonuses as well for being behind cover, but that might be a different game, one of the later games. See, this is what you're supposed to be like, hard to aim, and then, you have to land multiple shots, like even on the head, to kill them. Alright, now we're gonna finally get to see what an enemy turn seems like. So yeah, like I said, your units also get to fire back at enemies during their move phase, and since we're close enough, you also get to return fire. So sticking your squad in places where, like, they can obviously hit enemies while they're moving is important, but also not wasting all of your HP on your turn. Like, just trying to move to a spot and getting close enough, because you can get killed after firing on the enemies. Now, there's a way I can... I thought there's a quicker way to move between units, but whatever.
Alicia, I'm fighting for us. Enemy sighted! Enemy sighted!
Oh, there he is.
Now! Yes!
Now I'm gonna turn around to make sure that I can get the bonus attack. So not like I'll need it.
Now's our chance! that?
Sounds like a tank.
I have a feeling they probably didn't need to drive through that wall, but... oh well. Yeah, and some missions like this will have a part 2 to them. And yes, your AI will in fact try to fire on enemy tanks, despite being able to do no damage. Except to the little glowing blue thing in the back. As you notice, they managed to do 9 damage to it. And so, the tank can fire in multiple ways. Go over it later when we get ours, but...
Welkin, tank!
That's not good. We're not equipped to take out a tank.
But the first thing he hit the town watchman with was the mortar.
But we should probably
It's
pull out
obviously anti-personnel, and it's pretty useful because it does area damage, and I think it also can take out sandbags without needing to be directly on them.
Get off this road and into the alley to the east. It's too narrow for a tank to follow.
Now let's just go fight the tank.
Try to stay behind cover while moving. One blast from that turret and it's over.
See, now the strat here is just to speed run down the side, but the issue is when you move a unit multiple times, they do actually run out of a movement, like they drain their action points.
Moving out.
So they can't move as far as before. If you went over to the strat behind moving around a tank, you always want to stick behind, like try to get underneath it, like this here, because then its turret can't hit you. Let's see here.
Think you can stop me?
And you always want to, if you're under fire, you always want to try to end your turn as fast as possible, so you don't just take extra bullets.
Ready to go.
I'll help Welkin.
And if you can, you always want to try to line up enemies, because if you fire through one, you either accidentally miss, you might hit the other one, but also you can
Moving out.
like when you kill them, they'll stop their firing. Like you can fire through them as well. Like when the body falls, they'll just keep firing. It doesn't just stop firing.
I'll cover you, Alicia.
My wounds are healing.
And as you see the little gold icons over like Alicia and Welkin's name, that means they're a command unit. The enemies also have some of these, but that's what, like up at the top there, the CP, command points, that's what allows you to move multiple units at a time. And different units, primarily the tanks versus the infantry, will dictate how many, like, will have different amounts of command points that they use.
Phew. Looks like we shook them. What are you doing from here?
If they're rolling in the tanks, there's not much the Town Watch can do. We'll try to buy time so everyone can get away. I'll dig in my heels at the main gate and do what I can to stall them.
Okay, I'll head back to my house and grab Isara and Martha, then come back.
Be careful out there, Welkin.
I mean, if we wanted to try, we actually could have taken out that tank, because we do a lot of damage and we have grenades. That if you aim for, like I said, the little blue glowing thing on the back, that's its weak point. So we could have actually probably done it if we wanted to, but it just wasn't worth the time. So this was okay. So they did in fact play. So yeah, sometimes they'll have like that where it's like the cutscene that played in the middle of the combat. And you don't know it. Because I think they changed in the later games where they actually had the split in the
Isara,
combats
Martha,
with the cutscene in the middle, but...
please be okay.
Martha!
What's her problem? She pregnant or just fat?
Who cares? Not gonna make any difference when she's dead.
Stop this now.
See what she's wearing? Take a good look at that shawl. She's a Darkson.
And that explains it. I thought this place stunk. Now I know it does. So, we got ourselves a fat one and a stinky one. PU. It's a regular pig farm in here.
Did a combat roll.
I will thank you to watch your tongue in this house. You have to leave, now.
That's a big gun for such a little girl.
Why are we just having this standoff?
Isara!
Huh? Hold it right there! Die! Darkson pig!
Isara, are you okay?
I'm okay thanks to you. But Martha, I think she's...
Martha!
This isn't good. She's gone into labor. Moving her would be dangerous.
Right. Well, we can't just leave her here. What are we gonna do? There are a lot of Imperials out there, Ys. It's only a matter of time before they take over the Mill Plaza.
Welks, listen. The barn out back.
What about it?
Our fathers have left us something. Something that might get us out of this mess.
So I want to point out, Isara knows about this, but Vulcan just casually goes, "Oh wait, we've got a tank." Also, everybody, why do you have a tank? Many questions, no answers.
Dad's tank. Whoa. I can't believe it's still here.
And it's one of a kind. Here it is, the Edelweiss. Tamer built it especially for General Gunther.
Yeah, and it worked great, too. So it's just been parked here in the barn?
I wanted to make sure it would still operate, you know, in case of emergencies.
What does that mean,
A
Isara?
maintenance class given by the military. I wanted to be able to do what my father could do.
Well, that's great. But that's only a class, Isara.
It really didn't need much. Hardly any alterations at all. I just fitted it with a new turbine engine. It really improves on the power-to-weight ratio.
I want to play that Isara just casually put an entirely new
Device is
engine
field-worthy.
in this
Its
tank.
firepower
Just
and
casually,
mobility
without
are more
Welkin
than a
knowing.
match for recent models.
Well, assuming it does work. What's next?
All right, Welks, you took the armored vehicle course, didn't you?
Yeah. Back in high school. Once.
We'll bring Martha here. She'll be safe inside the tank, and we can move to a better location. Just leave the driving to me, okay? All you have to do is give the orders.
Isara, we ready to roll?
Engaging engine. The Edelweiss is ready for deployment.
Alicia could still be out there dodging bullets, buying time for people to evacuate. Here's the plan. We're gonna pick up Alicia and get out of town. All right, Edelweiss, move out!
I'm just curious, like, so at the beginning when, like, Isara was like, yeah, I just need the daily essentials, like, was she planning to bring the tank too, or is that what they were loading things into? Like, I gotta know, what part of the moving plan was the tank part of? Because that seems like something very important to not leave behind.
Here's the brief for this operation. All right, let's begin. We've got to stop them here.
So I love that, like, I know it's just, they've got to do it that way, but like,
If this gate falls, there's going to
and
be
like
even
Alicia's the
more
commanding
trouble
unit,
for the town
but it seems really funny that like, she's like, alright, we need to hold out for your tank, and it's like, you didn't even know this tank exists.
The town watch will defend this gate so as many people as possible can get away.
Alright, let's see here. So tank spawns over here. Yeah, see how he's wearing red? That means they're normally like the officers. Okay, and here we see the next type of unit, the shock troopers. They have higher health and carry some machine guns, but far less range and movement than the scouts. Alright, he's just gonna nail all, like, 3 shots. That works, but, not what I was expecting. Alright, we're gonna use him as the observation unit. Now, in the grass, they're hidden. Unless we got a scout unit, most units will be able to stay hidden until the enemy literally steps on them. So, on the map here, you'll notice that they've got, like, this... I cannot think of the name right now. Like, traps over the dot. That is a watchtower. It gives you a higher point of view, like, can see further range. The biggest downside, though, is that you can have the tower get blown up on you. Yeah, there they are. Like, I knew there's a guy over here. That was just sad. Alright, we're gonna... just no. That was just embarrassing for this town watchman.
Moving out.
Now, since we have an upgraded gun, I can do this. I don't think I've got the range. Damn it.
Enemy unit spotted.
Problem is finding where the guy was. Eh. There we go. Got him. So that'll save us some trouble later on. And we're gonna move over here, because there's more cover. Now, the smart thing would have been to stay on that left side, so it would be harder for the tank to hit us. However, Alicia has enough health, and there's enough sandbag cover there that it'll be perfectly fine. And just, we spotted all three of these enemies here on this turn, so they're still visible. However, since we won't maintain like visibility on them after this turn, they will turn into question marks, and we won't really get to know where they go. Like, it'll just say enemy is moving, and then just vibe for a little bit. Try this again, shall we? There you go. And yeah, so see how we have that blue line? That means the enemy can't see you. Yellow means they can see you but can't attack. And then red means that they're firing at you. Alright, as you see here, all the enemies turn into question marks. But you get a general idea of their movement, which is kind of makes this a lot easier. As long as you kind of keep tabs of it, you'll know where the enemies go. Alright. He's just gonna full out charge. Waste all of their movement points. Like, I'm okay with that. That's a bold strategy.
Moving out. Now.
And now sometimes, with like the enemy command units that are like have the red armor and just other enemies, you can walk over their bodies and they'll move them from the map. And sometimes they'll give you good like items to help upgrade your weapons and stuff. Now, we don't need that because, like I said, I'm just loading the save and not actually starting a whole new game. So that doesn't really help us all that much. And there'll sometimes be named enemy units that are like upgraded. And they will always give you special stuff. Nice. Alright, we're just gonna use this town watchman and let him just handle this. You got this, amigo. Killing machine over here. So I wanted to use the grass that's on the side of this building here. But the train was too high, so I can't actually go down it. Alright, now here's what I was going to say about the scouts. Obviously, they're... See how you can fire me in the grass? Most units would not be able to do that. I'd have a grenade, I forgot. So the best way to take out enemies behind sandbags is to just chuck a grenade at them, call it good. And you do get health bonuses and stuff like you would from sandbags in the grass as well.
No! If this keeps up...
Thank you, moron. Alright. So we've cleared out all of the enemy units, except for the tank.
Entering combat.
As you notice, like, the Edelweiss here requires two,
The tank should be able to...
All right, let's give it a shot. Hang in there, Alicia.
2 CP points in order to move. and can go through things like sandbags, some certain types of walls.
Alicia, I'm sorry we're late.
She can't hear you.
Welkin, you have a tank?
We can talk later. Right now, we need to stop those soldiers.
Enemy tank sighted, Welks. Switching to anti-tank combat. Armor-piercing shells loaded.
I want to point out, Asara not only has replaced an entire military-grade, like, high industrial-grade engine, she also just has AP shells laying about. Like, there's so many things wrong with just how casually they're all interacting here. The tank tragically cannot move very far, which makes this a pain in the butt. And the tanks also have different zones where the more, like, the way you hit them does different amounts of damage. Like, for example, you notice when I was aiming at the treads, it said it would take 6 shots. But when I aim at the body, it only takes 2. And then if you aimed at this back part here, it would immediately kill it in 1 shot. But now that I've got its health load up, I can hit anywhere and it will deal a kill shot.
Yes! We stopped it! Nice work, East.
Woohoo! Now you're my hero, Welkin.
The Imperials are running off for now. Looks like we bought some time at least.
Welks! It's a boy! Martha had a boy!
Just the timing of this whole thing, like, just casually had tank-to-tank combat and then went, oh yeah, childbirth. The miracle of childbirth.
Yes, and without complications. They're both perfectly healthy.
Like, I just gotta know, was Asara also tending to Martha while driving the tank, or like, she just casually do this in the... so many questions.
That's fantastic.
So many questions.
We head out of town.
2 hours after the first shots were fired, Brule was under Imperial control. Though a mere skirmish by Empire standards, the raid on Brule would mark Welkin Gunther's first taste of battle and begin his rise to a Gallian hero.
Alicia.
I thought I would be ready for this. I knew war meant this might happen. It hurts. Seeing my town overrun like this, seeing all those people killed, it's just not right. How could all this happen? It isn't human, Welkin.
We look at those birds and see how wild and free they are. But they all have their own territories. If anything threatens their home, they'll risk their lives to defend it. People are animals too. We do what we have to, when we have to. Animals are in a constant struggle to stay alive, but I've also seen them help each other, almost like they were cooperating in order to survive.
Cooperating?
That's why I'm so into studying natural science. That coexistence. I want to know how it works. If we could figure that out, mankind could put it to use for our own survival. That's why I want to be a teacher, so that I can pass that knowledge on to the children. I mean, even if we can't completely eliminate war, at least we might learn to live together as one people.
You think so? Welks, look. Martha fell asleep, so that makes me the babysitter. See, Alicia? Oh, he's adorable.
Just like you said, even in war, new life happens all around us. Come here. Look, that's your hometown.
Someday, we'll come back home again.
Yes. Someday soon. I know it.
Alright. So it's a bit of a shorter stream here today, but I think that's where I'm going to end it. Next time, when we pick up on Valkyria Chronicles, Welkin joins the army. And once again, thank you for watching. Don't exactly have an idea when the next stream will be, but until then, I guess, enjoy, take care, and see y'all next time.